and happy March. I thought I would introduce something that I'm going to do once a month for all the tiers because I get so annoyed at staging blog post photos, and I always chat about this every time when I want to do a blog post. I think it's easier for me to do it in video form because it means I can sit down, relax, and just chat to you guys. And I thought that I would do almost like a wrap up February reflections, favorites, all sort of just a studio chat in general with you guys, show you what I've been working on, what I've loved, favorite things, just a little bit of, you know, studio banter with you guys. I should be actually sitting down to film my Saturday video, but I wanted to do this for all the tiers because I feel like it would be a really cute addition to something that I already enjoy doing. It might be a bit echoey. I'm in my dining room at the moment because I have my stuff set up for a journal with me in the studio for the video tier. But I thought once a month, at the end of the month, I could do like a wrap up, talk about what I'm currently reading, talk about what I'm thinking, favorites, and not just art favorites, some clothing favorites or accessory favorites, stuff like that, things that I really enjoy doing this month, and sort of show you the progress in what I've been doing. Because a lot of people don't see all the stuff that happened in the top tier because obviously I don't share a lot of it very widely. And every now and again you get a glimpse when I show you things. So I thought this would be a great way for you to see what I'm currently working on throughout the month, and just for me to sit down and sort of chat to you about things. And I think it's a nice personable way for you guys to sit down and journal and listen to me babble on, because everyone always tells me they love my really long chatty videos. So I think once a month I will do this as a wrap up, probably earlier on in the next month. So as it's March, very early in March, I will reflect on February and all that sort of thing. Now in February, I kind of went a bit rogue with my Hobonichi A5. I bought the Hobonichi Cousin at the end of the year on a whim. I'd already had a planner. I'd bought a planner. I'd started using said planner, and then the FOMO of the Hobonichi took hold, and it was like a death grip. And I caved right before the end of the year and bought myself an A5. Now I looked everywhere for an Avec, and I couldn't get one unless I ordered it from Japan, and I didn't want to pay the shipping price from Japan for one item, and I just couldn't justify it. Even though I know it comes super quickly, I was like, nah. And everyone had already done their group orders, so there was no one I could piggyback with, which is what most of us Aussies do, because the shipping to here is just crazy expensive. Anyway, to cut a long story short, I just went along with it and had my planner in a cover. Not this one specifically, but I had it in my Giglio Appunto, or I had it in my other covers. And this is actually a new one from Hand Stitched Leather Tea. And I, in the middle of a journal with me video, got so frustrated by the fact that my journal was getting so fat because the front of it was my planner, that I actually just hacked at it and I turned it into 2 books. So this is all my daily pages in here, which I'll give you guys a quick flip because there's some pages you guys haven't seen. And then I created a second book here with the weekly and the monthly, because I couldn't handle the fact that I knew that my journal was, my planner was getting heavier and heavier. I couldn't foresee myself taking my planner in my handbag when it was attached to this, and it was just getting chunkier and chunkier and wider. And don't get me wrong, there's a high chance that I'm going to get to a certain page or a certain area in here, it'll be completely ridiculously too big. I will chop it and turn it into another book. I will probably do an Avec next year. I'm pretty happy with the Hobonichi sort of feels, and so far we haven't had any hitches. I wish, like I said in my video, that Hobonichi would do the weekly spread and the monthly spread in the A5 as a separate book on its own. I think that would be fab. Otherwise I'm going to have to see if I can nab myself an Avec at the end of the year and keep going along that path. I do kind of miss the B6 Slim size of the Gibbon Techo, but I like the Hobo a lot more. And I can't have the best of both worlds. I can't buy a Gibbon Techo and buy an A5 Hobo and then waste all that chunk of paper in the Hobo and just use the daily pages. It just doesn't work out. Or I could buy a Gibbon Techo and buy an A5 blank and then just go from there and make my own. But then I fall into the trap of, well, it's not really dated. I don't have to abide by the date. So it's a hard situation. Planner problems, first world. Anyway, so I did hack it up, and there is my, I've got it in my A5 Toller in the Traveller, one of my very first and my very beloved Traveller's notebooks from Sojourner. I loved getting back into this girl. She needs a lot more love. She needs a lot more markings, and I love this planner so much, this cover. I've got a whole heap of stuff in here. I was writing postcards yesterday while I was out and about, and I have some still in here to post or to write and post over the weekend. So they will be getting labeled posts, and I was using these cute little stickers that I've got. I think they're called nom noms, I don't know, but my daughter pointed them out. They are sniffy. They do have a scent, so if you get one of my postcards and you see these on there, have a sniff, see if the scent's still there. Might be, might not be. Can't say for sure if it will or won't be. I've got some Fran Nerd stickers and some little planner stickers in the front there, and I love it. And then I have literally just created myself a new booklet. This inserts by the lovely Katrin. Got my son's timetable because he keeps losing it. It drives me insane. So I've got my planner pages in here, and they're not beautiful. There's no point even showing you really, because they're all just boring and black and white and so very sad. They need some color, but I just haven't gotten around to it. And this was you can tell in collage sheet week, guys, because nothing else happens except collage sheet week, which I will talk about soon, because they were probably one of my favorite sets that I've created to this day, and I want to show you guys in the lower tiers because I haven't really shown them anywhere else. And as for my Hobonichi, I don't think there's heaps that you haven't seen. So I kind of flip from here on out. I have been trying to catch up so crazily, and it's just, it's an always battle, guys. It's always a battle to try and win, and I feel like I'm not winning, but I'm gonna keep at it. And I started tabbing things to get ideas about what I was doing and where I was going. And I've got like bits and pieces of half finished and half started, and ephemera glued down and bits and pieces. I'm going to spend a heap of time on the weekend. I think we don't have any plans, so I think I'm just going to sit down and start sort of working off camera, where I can work fast and I can sort of sit on the couch and have my stuff around me, and I don't have to worry about camera positions and things, and try and do a heap of catching up pages. I always put like postcards and happy mail and things and letters from you guys in there as much as possible, and then pages that have been half started, and then I've got a whole heap of blank pages, and then I've got this one, and I started working on the weekend page. It's now Friday. I got my son, who was learning about angles with hubby, to draw a little angle, and then I am literally here. And I went out yesterday, which will be the not the $10, the $15 video for Saturday will be me planning out yesterday's page. So there is basically all that's happened. I've got a whole heap of catching up to do. There's gonna have to be just some pages of writing, I think, instead of me trying to sort of draw everything. I don't understand how I did this last time on YouTube for 3 months straight, where I drew every single day. I don't understand how I could have juggled that, and now I can't seem to. Maybe because I have so many other aspects to my job now. It's just crazy. Got bits and pieces of ephemera in the back for things to go in to my planner. I've got like Kiki's delivery service stuff. I've got paper, you name it, it's in here. Postcards, letters, all sort of stashed in here, and I want to get it into my journal ASAP. But that is the current situation in my A5. It's still such a huge work in progress, but I wanted to say that you can cut your Hobonichi apart if it's getting too fat. I know it might freak some people out, but it's pretty relatively easy to do. I mean, I've had to put some, in the beginning of the book, I've had to put some tape and stuff to sort of secure some pages, because the first little chunk was a little bit, so I put like sticky tape here, just some clear tape to reinforce everything. And that's just to keep that first insert together, because it is a little bit sort of wobbly, but other than that, it's holding on strong. So I'm pretty happy that I just, in the middle of a journal with me, I think I probably freaked a few of the inkies out, but that's okay. Let's talk about collage sheets for this month. Oh, I've dropped something already. I released them, what's today? Friday. I released them on Wednesday. You guys got the minis, so you've seen all that. I have huge postcards that I made on camera. I've turned these into an A4, so you could literally cover a book if you wanted to. I made them so huge that you could cut them apart and use sections. I am definitely going to do that. I'm actually considering doing a video showing what I would do with this month's collage sheets because they are absolutely my favorite. The scribble background I live for. I'm going to put this on acetate this weekend. I cannot wait to see what this looks like on acetate. It's going to be really cool. A whole heap of the digital faces and stuff that I worked on when I was showing people how to merge your traditional art with your digital art, which has been an absolute blessing when it comes to collage sheets. It's sped up my workflow so much and it's been fabulous. I love this guy. I'm going to have to cut him out and we'll now laminate him and make him a bookmark. I absolutely loved this month's numbers. I do know that I know the 6 is missing, guys. I must have missed it in my tired stupor. When I release to you the stars with the numbers on it, I will have the scribble 6 on that page. So download it for you guys to have. And I will be turning these into your another set of numbers, which I said I would do if there was enough interest, and there's heaps. I've been DM'd all over the place about it, begging me to do it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to try and get it done today for you. So there's blank ones down here, but I'm going to do numbers. I was doing it for myself, so I'm always happy to share. Got lots of beautiful bright colored things that I cannot wait to use. Part of me wants to do what I would do with the collage sheets today because I'm so inspired by them, and I may very well do that instead of working in my Hobonichi because my Hobonichi is killing my life, but I want to keep up with it, so we'll see what happens. You'll know by Saturday what video I went with. Check boxes and tip-ins and beautiful teapots and things. I love these. I want to actually use this on the edge of a page, almost like a washi tape. I think that would be a cute washi tape. I think this would be a cute washi tape. If I could work out how to repeat this, I would turn it into a washi tape for sure. I will see if I can do that because I think that would be one of my favorites ever if I could repeat this. So we'll see. I also did some watery colored backgrounds as well, sort of a little bit less in your face than the other scribble background. Still love it. I can't wait to rip it apart and make tip-ins from it. I did the calendar image as a single image. I also gave more of this star background because I'm obsessed with it, and little 3x4s. We've got numbers, and I also did rainbow days of the month in 2 different types. I've got clouds. I loved this month's sheets. I love them so much. The rainbow just was totally making me happy, totally inspired me, and it seems to be a lot of people's favorites this month. I just love it to bits. I'm totally down for all of it, all of it. And as you saw, I made postcards for NaNoWriMo for the month of February. I've been sending them out as many as I possibly can. I've got people's addresses in the Facebook group for the top tier. If you want, you can also add your address in your Patreon information. I will go through the lower tiers information. I'll sort of randomly pick out a few people in the lower tiers, and if your postal address is on that page, I will try my very best to get some out to the lower tiers as well. So you have to edit your information on your Patreon page, and when I go and check you, I can see your postal stuff. I feel like I can. I should really check that before I go babbling my mouth out, but we'll see. I'll see if that's a thing, but I will do my very best to sort of contact people. I know what I'll do. I will go through the list of the lower tiers. I'll pick a few people and I'll send you a private message and ask you for your address, and then I'll start sending out some happy mail. So it's not just the top tiers that are getting postcards from me. I'll do my best. That's all I can do, my loves. So let's move on to, I've got more artsy stuff that I want to talk about, but let's talk about some sort of fashiony favorites that I'm absolutely obsessed with. Now, there is a brand online called Zenny Optical. It is a glasses brand. I saw someone that I always have hashtags followed on Instagram, and pink hair is one that I follow. because I have pink hair and I always love to see how people style it, what colors and makeup they use, to see how it suits. I have my pink hair goes from really, really bright and really vibrant to really, really pale and cotton candy like. So a lot of colors vary with what you can wear. Anyway, there was a girl that had pastel pink hair, which mine was at the time. It's not at the moment. It's super, super bright and freshly dyed. And she had on these freaking amazing glasses, and they were these heart-shaped glasses in the black, and I went berserk for them. I messaged her. She was quite a big Instagrammer, so I wasn't expecting much, but she got back to me straight away to tell me where she got them from, and I went instantly to the website and I bought myself a pair, and I was like, they have them in pink, but the kid size comes in pink, the adult size does not. So I bought them in black, and I thought if they're really good, I put my prescription, they are prescription, in there. I went to my optometrist, got my prescription from them, and then went and did it online with the website. And I thought for I think it was $27, so around $35 Australian with shipping. If they work out well, then I am so excited, and they have become one of my absolute favorites this month. I do get a lot of looks when wearing these. I have a lot of compliments. I have a lot of people ask me if they're actually real or whether they're joke glasses, which I get. I look like I'm crazy, and I love them so much so that I just take them off my face. I actually bought them in red as well, and I flippin' love them. I'll leave a link to them down below. I wish they'd bring the pink ones out to the adult sizes, but I thought I maybe could get the adults on my face, or the kids ones on my face, but my face is too big. But I got the red in the clear and the black in the matte solid. So, and I couldn't wear these until my hair was dark bright pink, because with the pale pink it just did not look any good. But as soon as I got my hair done, they looked fantastic. I love them. I've become my favorite. They're so lightweight and they're just really comfortable on the face. So I'm loving that from Zenni Optical. Like I said, I'll try and link everything down below. The other favorite this month, has been for quite a while, is the beautiful rainbow necklace that Sian made me and Sam and her for a present. I think it was part of our Christmas present, but it came just a little bit late, which I'm okay with. Handmade makes my heart sing. And I wear this all the time, actually, with these. And I wear a really crazily bright dress with it. It's my favorite. I wear these quite a lot, actually. I wear bright colors when I'm feeling really depressed. I have several. I've talked about this a lot, having sort of bright colored accessories to help with depression, because color makes me happy. So I have bright hair, I have bright clothes, I have bright shoes. I have bright shoes because I'm always looking down. It's a really bad habit that I formed as a kid, and I'm always looking at the ground. My head was always down, so I started wearing bright colored shoes. And so I have quite a huge collection of crazy colored shoes. Last time I did a really chatty video, I got a really sore voice and got sick for a week, so I'm trying to avoid that. I also really love these earrings from Caboodle Designs. I want to say I have quite a few pairs, and I did haul them a pair recently, like a few pairs recently. These are some of my faves that I wear constantly. This little ensemble is like my everyday weekend wear, with some bright crazy shoes and my bright colored hair, and it makes me happy. And so I dress to make myself happy, especially when I don't feel it. I'm always saying fake it till you make it, and color is one of the things that I use as a way to combat depression or combat anxiety, or I feel more in control of myself. There are days when my depression or my anxiety is so high that I dress all in black because I don't want the attention that all this brings. And believe me, it's attention. And sometimes I don't have the emotional energy to sort of combat the looks and the stares, because I get it a lot. I'm used to it now, but there are days when I can't fathom it. So I like to blend into the crowd. Obviously my pink hair is a big giveaway, but I'm not doing anything else that would be a dead giveaway. So, but when I'm all about that life and I'm living it to the fullest, I will look like a cartoon character, and I flip and love it. And I get a lot of positive feedback. I also adore this little brooch that I also bought from the same company, and I love him so much. I wear him on my cardigans and he is the best. He's like an acrylic, very lightweight. I just couldn't leave him. I had to adopt him. So they are all the sort of things that I've been absolutely loving and wearing heaps, as well as my red ones, which are on my face this month. So I obviously can't say that you can buy this online. I think people have asked Yana if she'd turn it into a business, but she's a very busy lady and I don't want to push her into anything else. But we'll link Caboodle Designs and I will link Zenny Optical down below for you guys if you're interested. I just love dressing creatively. It helps me feel more creative. It helps me sort of, I like dressing the way my art looks basically, and that's kind of how I describe it. Another weird favorite, as you guys know, I'm a Sailor Moon fan. I'm a Moonie and have been all my life. I grew up with her and I love this phone case. I bought it from a really weird site that I don't quite recommend. The first time I ordered this, they sent me the wrong size and they gave me a full refund and I kept the phone case, but I waited and waited and waited until this was literally on sale for 10 bucks. And then I reordered it and it came very quick the next time. So they did sort of fix their mistake up, but I love glitter cases. They make me happy. And so I absolutely adore this phone case. I have quite a lot of Disney ones, but once this one came in the mail, she hasn't come off yet. So Sailor Moon fans, I will link it, but beware. They're not the most not reputable, but they're hit and miss. Like I had a miss first, then I had a hit. So beware, just beware. Okay, so let's chat about my journal spill journal. I'll have to move a lot of things off my table to do the journal spill though. So I've been playing around with the idea of a journal spill and I'm currently in the process of getting my pages together. I've done one video for the top tier and that was in the month of February, which is why I'm chatting about it. It is basically where I've got so much ephemera that I've got that I am sewing them together to make giant pages. Let me see if I scan out a little bit. Giant pages out of all the bits and bobs that I have accumulated, including photographs that haven't been used, paper from books that I have collected for journal ephemera, collage sheet bits that just never got used, have been lying around, acetate, bits from the cool calendar that Mitz gifted me for Christmas. I have a whole stack of these giant pages that I'm trying to fit into an A3 journal, and I just can't wait to build all the journal pages up so I can then start reworking them and working on top of them and adding more photographs and journaling and sort of collaging little bits and pieces into the corners. I just love how it is going. It is a really big labor of love because these pages are flipping huge, and they're really cumbersome once they get to a certain size. This is an original artwork from calendars from like in a couple of years ago when I was doing the scarf animals as the calendar images. I've got scrapbook paper, I've got a whole heap of stuff, and I love how patchworky everything looks. So like a page like this will get covered with more artwork. I've sewn everything together with red thread and my sewing machine. Some pages are a bit more complete than others. I've got giant photographs that I've had sort of lying around, or I've printed off some of my favorite photos from past things to add to the pages. So this was from when Sam, Sian and I went to the Mary Poppins thing, and this was a big sign that you could stand in front of, but I loved it, so I took a photograph and blew it up. I've just got like photographs. This is from like a couple of years ago when Boo first got roller skates. And I just love how the pages are slowly coming together. I may do a video about this for YouTube coming up when I've done a bit more work maybe, or maybe I'll do a flip, but I'm trying to get them to the double A3 size. Oh, that one's upside down. So that they can be put into this giant TN that I have that I got from Morgan Le Fay's Trinkets. I commissioned her to make me a giant A3 journal, and I have had it in my possession for quite a while, actually over a year. And I love this one of Boo. I remember her having to carry this teddy bear around for, I think it was grade 1, and she's now in grade 4, and we had to take photos of what she did with the teddy bear and journal it. So like each kid got time with this teddy bear, and they got to do like Ted's adventures. And so we took Ted to the city and photographed him in all different sort of places. So that is obviously, she's so little there. Oh, she's so innocent. And I've got pages in here that I will also work on top of as well. This is big A3 watercolor paper, and I've sewn, you know those big A3 sketchbooks that you can get? I've actually pulled the pages out of those, or maybe it's not even a sketchbook, those big A3 paper pads, and I've sewn them together and bound them with sort of painted papers. It's just such a big task, and I have done a whole heap of inserts in different sizes and sewn them all together to create the papers that are in here, which will go intermittently between all those. And I cannot wait to see it all come together. It is definitely a massive passion project, and I have so many bits of ephemera and stuff to work. I mean, there are things that I could literally put this onto the elastics now. I don't have to have them all A3, and I just can slot pages in like this, and I can work and tape things onto the end. I don't have to sew them all. Like I said, it gets a bit to the point where they get so big they're really hard to tame, and sort of work where I want things to fold and things like that. But excuse me, I'm absolutely loving where this is going, and I am going to be doing another video in the month of March, working on more pages, or if not a solo video, it'll definitely be working on it in the studio vlog that I'm currently working on. So this is the beautiful, huge hot pink TN from Morgan Le Fay Trinkets, and I love my little tag that says Courtney Diaz. She was so awesome. She'd never done anything this big, and she was fantastic to work with, and I love how it looks. It's just so crazy and bright pink, so I cannot wait to have this filled with all the bits and pieces of the journal spill. It was an idea where I had all this sort of leftover bits of ephemera and photographs and stuff that never made it into my journals, and it was just building and building and building, and I was like, I can't throw it out because it's pieces of my memory, like photographs of the kids, photographs that just didn't make it into spreads, or I'd printed off more than I needed, and I had all these, I've got a whole drawer of old photos, so I want those to be put to use and created and stuff like that. This was like a couple of Christmases ago. I always buy a book for like the book Kinakoya does. You can buy it for certain age groups, so this was 15 to 18 years old, and so they did really beautiful monsters, and each age group had a different monster. So I grabbed, I bought books obviously, but I grabbed some of the cards for my journal because I just love the idea of monsters reading. So these are things that I've had and hoarded like crazy for months and months and years, not even just months, years. So that is one of my big passion projects that I'm going to be working on throughout the year. It's definitely not a small task, and it's not something that's going to happen overnight. It's definitely a huge passion project. Quickly before I go, I was heading to my studio, and I found a couple of other things that I want to quickly chat about. There was a little Japanese store that had popped up in my sort of local shopping center, and I was there yesterday getting some things for the kids, and these little fairy lights are so freaking adorable, and these are like gold clips that you can clip things to. So I'm going to clip some happy mail and things to them and sort of wrap them around my mood board. I have another set of fairy lights that are battery powered. They're very jewel lights. And I also bought this beautiful sort of rainbow dream catcher. But what I love about the fairy lights with the clips is that they are USB powered, so I don't have to change the batteries all the time. I am finding so many USB powered things. It's making my life so happy. And I love that they're clear, like the actual strand are clear. Sometimes they're always black or green, and I hate that, but I love, love, love them, and I can keep them on as long as I want because they're not draining batteries. So I absolutely love that. And the other thing that I am currently also loving are these page flags that I picked up at the Japanese bookstore, and they've got little prints on them, so hearts, clouds, stripes and triangles, but they're just the cutest sort of colorway. They were from a brand called Legami. I'll try and find them online for you, but I absolutely love them. I don't normally buy these sorts of things because I kind of have such a stash. But when I saw these pastel colored ones, I could not resist. And I've been using them to sort of tag books that I read, like quotes that I want to write down and come back to. So these have been beautiful, and I've had them to bring out to the table but forgot. So those are by the brand, yeah, like I said, they were from the brand Legami. And I'm also really obsessed with this washi tape. And the reason why I'm putting it in here as a favorite is because I don't have heaps left. As you can see, I'm getting down, it was quite a big roll. I cannot find where I bought this from. There's obviously no maker in here. If you have any idea, I am asking for your help. If you have any idea where I might find backup rolls of this, it has become one of my absolute favorite tapes. I love it way too much, and I don't know where I got it from, and it's starting to stress me out to the point where I'm only using it in little bits because I don't want it to run out. So if you know, it is multicolored rainbow polka dots. They overlay over each other, and it's really pretty, and I cannot for the life of me find where I got it from. I looked at the place I thought I got it from. I didn't get it from them, or they have stopped selling it. But if you have any idea, I put it to the collective hive mind because I've been looking really hard to try and find backups. So that there is one of my favorites, some of my favorites from the actual studio in my crazy chaos. So there you go. Let's talk books. Something that I have started back up in 2019 is reading. I've been a book nerd all my life. I have many a fond memory of reading on my bed as a kid, and I have read on and off all throughout my life. As I became a mum, reading kind of took a back seat because I had a lot of other things to do, and I read a lot during my divorce and my breakup to sort of escape. It's what I do to escape. And I've also decided to pick reading back up as a way for me to do something that is detached from social media, detached from anything really, and just when I'm feeling really anxious and I want to quieten the mind that's sort of buzzing around, I have started reading again. And because hubby and I are huge readers, as is my son, my daughter, we're getting there, we're working on her. We have quite a huge array of books, and we have 4 wall to ceiling bookshelves in the lounge room. Each kid has a wall to ceiling bookshelf in their rooms, and I also have a huge art book collection as well in my studio. So we have a lot of books. When we move house, the majority of our boxes are book boxes. Without babbling on a bit more, I started reading a lot more in 2019, and the February books I read 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and I finished number 7 this morning, but I started it in February, so it doesn't quite count. But I did read The Gilded Wolves, which is the Facebook group by lovely reader girl Made with Love Crafter, I'm pretty sure. And I joined her book club in the month of February, and The Gilded Wolves was the book of the month that everyone read. I didn't mind it. I gave it, I think, 4 stars. I quite enjoyed it. A lot of people DNF'd it. I think reason why I enjoyed it so much was because I hadn't had a huge amount of, not access, but I hadn't been influenced by a lot of the books that they were comparing this book to because I hadn't read them, because I hadn't been reading. I owned some of the books that they compared it to, but I hadn't actually picked them up and read them. And so I think they read it through tinted lenses, and I read it through completely different because I hadn't read very many heist stories. I hadn't read the Grisha trilogy, which everyone was comparing it to, and the Six of Crows and the Crooked Kingdom. I hadn't read all of those, which as you'll see, I have now. So I really enjoyed it, whereas people that had read those said it's just a try-hard version of that. And so now that I've read the books that they're talking about, I still enjoyed it. I probably would bring my rating down a little bit from 4 to maybe 3.5. I still read it in approximately, I think, 3 or 4 days. I think I'm a very fast reader. So I still think it's pretty good, but I don't think it's good now that I've read other books in that genre. So I get why people, I don't understand why people DNF'd it. I didn't like hate it. So I will still read the second one. So The Gilded Wolves by Roshini Chokshi, yeah. So I think there's another one coming, and I'm pretty sure it is a duology, I think. So I read this one. That was the first one I read in February. So I read that. And I also read The Wicked King and the Cruel Prince in February, and I flipping loved them both. I loved them. I cannot wait for The Queen of Nothing. It is about a fae world and a human trying to make her way in the fae world and the court and all the political stuff and all the, it was really good. And I've never read any fae stuff, and now I want to read it all. So these were fabulous, and I'm going to try and get Lighty to read these. I think he may like them, he may not. He likes a lot of action and magic in his stuff, so if there's not a whole heap of that to begin with, he's like, meh, he's happy to DNF anything, that boy. He's pretty good. He loves magic though. So I read those 3. And then because I'd heard so much about the Grisha trilogy, and that everyone was talking about it's going to be now turned into a Netflix series, and everyone was reading it, and then everyone was talking about Six of Crows and Crooked Kingdom, and it was like everywhere. Everyone was reading it, and I had Shadow and Bone on my shelf. I'd already bought it like years ago, and I had it on my shelf. I hadn't read it. So I then binged the whole set literally in about a week and a half, I think, between the 3 of them. I think I knocked them over. Amazing. Absolutely loved all of them. It was really, really good. I know Elijah will love this series, so I'm going to push that at him when he finishes what he has been reading. It was really cool. The Grisha are like a powerful set of people that have powers. They have people that work with metal, people that work with wind. They have like people that can change the way people look. There's a whole heap of stuff. Anyway, very, very cool. Highly recommend. I'm not going to go into, this is not a booktube channel, and I'm pretty terrible at describing things that happen, but I loved it. So I then started Six of Crows, and I finished that last night, which is the one that I started in February but finished in March. And I'm now reading The Crooked Kingdom so that I can then go on to the next book club book, because I don't think I can dual read. I probably should start Strange the Dreamer by Laini Taylor, which is the March book before I'm booked, but I finished Six of Crows, and I had to figure out what happened. So I may have to dual read so I keep up with everyone else, or I may knock it over this weekend. In terms of art books, this is a new acquisition. I always like to show you. Sorry about the glare. I've got the lights on. I'll turn it that way so you can see. I show you my art books that I pick up, and this one I picked up on the weekend when I was with the kids. Wonderland's illustration art of Robert Ingpen. And I hadn't heard of him before, but I was searching for some books for the kids to do with their maths and their English to help them. Hubby and I were in there buying sort of workbooks for them, and I found this, and I just couldn't leave without it. And it is just so beautiful. And it was $29, which I thought for what was in here, it was a steal. It is all about his artwork. I don't know this artist very well. I still have a lot of research to do, but I wanted to share it anyway, because it was just such a beautiful book. And there's Alice in Wonderland, there's a Nutcracker, there is, well, who else is in there? Christmas Carol. There's so much beautiful artwork in here, and they're all sketchy and stunning. It reminded me so much of Beatrix Potter with all the characters. It was just too beautiful. I couldn't leave it behind. There was only one copy, and I was like, I can't not. All the animals, the Jungle Book. John's like, you can find an art book anywhere. I was like, yes I can. Neverland, Peter Pan. Oh, I love it all. So he's illustrated so much. I love this. I just love it. He has illustrated so much. The Scarecrow, so Wizard of Oz, that was another one. There's so many of the classics in here that I just loved the look of. And I just looked at it. Tom Sawyer. And he's like illustrated them so beautifully. And I just wanted to pour over it. Oh, the Pinocchio spread got me. it makes my heart just sing just looking at these things. And I love adding this sort of stuff into my sort of inspiration catalog, because these are sorts of things that I love. The Alice thing was just so pretty, and all the different sort of pictures of Alice and illustrating Alice and the tea party. I will try and leave links down below. This was a lovely picture that I flicked through when I was in the shop, and I just couldn't leave it behind. And as you see, I just can't do it. I can't do it. I had to adopt it. I had to bring it into the fold. It was just too beautiful for me to leave behind. And I wanted to sit and pore over everything really closely, because I can't really do that in the middle of the bookstore. I mean, I could, but it's kind of rude. So I thought for the price tag, oh, it's actually Aussie. Represent, dude, represent. Oh man, that makes it so much cooler. So that beautiful book, I just couldn't leave it behind, and you guys can see why now. I'll leave a link if I can find it, but it is, if you're like me and you like to collect beautiful art books, especially ones with stuff like The Wizard of Oz and Alice in Wonderland and all those sort of beautiful tales, it's definitely a good thing, a beautiful book to have in your collection. Or, you know, see if you can get it at your library and pour through it that way, because I love these types of books to look through for inspiration on color palettes, and to look at texture, and to see how people draw certain things, especially stuff that's foreign to my hands. I like looking at how other people have approached those to see if it would make it easier for my brain to comprehend the shape of things. More than anything else, it's the shape of stuff that I have trouble with sometimes, like objects that I have never drawn before. I go and look at how an artist I admire has done it to see how they've approached the shape, because sometimes my 3D stuff was terrible. That's why I married John. So he can help me with my 3D art. More things to chat about before I go and start working on my actual video for the video tier. I have talked about this on Instagram. I talked about it recently in a whole part of my other video. My sharpener is my best friend, and I need you all to know about it. Electric sharpener that is USB powered, and it is fantastic. And I had trouble finding it online. I'll try and find the link that I used in the last video, but it's by Scribble Stationery. It was around about 30 bucks, $27. It is the bestest in the worldest, and I can't stress that enough, how great this sharpener has been for my pencil collection. So I'll stop raving about it. I also really am loving the sketch ink, which I got from Jet Pens. This is the black. I also bought the pink. It is by Rojo and Klinger. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. I'm probably butchering it, but it is fantastic, and it's been nice to try a different waterproof black ink. And I normally use the Diatramentus black, which I found my missing bottle the other day hidden in the drawer of my coffee table in the back corner. I don't know how it got there, but the reason why I bought this was because my Diatramentus had gone missing and my pen needed ink, and I couldn't find any. I had used a cartridge that wasn't waterproof, and I just hated it. So I picked this up because I was doing a Jet Pens order, and it's become a fave. I really enjoyed it, and I have the pink one here. I always buy the pink ink in a brand, especially waterproof pink. That's always good. So I really liked these two inks, waterproof. And the last thing that I am going to chat about is I am missing Japan, and it's April, coming up to April, which is when we went last year for my birthday and Valentine's Day and Mother's Day and all those sort of holidays linked into one. That's how we made it happen. We kind of combined all of our big holidays together, like our things that we'd buy gifts for each other. And hubby and I went to Japan for, I think, 12 days, 13 days. And I'm missing it. I'm missing it so much. And I know there's so many people going at the moment, and I'm going to miss the cherry blossoms. I miss everything about it. So the only thing I can show you is my Japan journal, which you've already seen, and I still need to work in it. I need to finish it before I go back. I'm hoping that I get to go back this year with Sam and Sian. We're trying to organize a girls trip together in October. And is that meant? Is that stuck there? Yes, it is. So I'm hoping that actually happens. We'll see if we can make it happen. And if so, then my hubby will bring the kids over. a week later so that the kids can see Japan, if we can make it all happen with hubby's tax return, because that's our travel fund. But I wish I could go like tomorrow. If I could get on a plane tomorrow to go to Japan, I would in a heartbeat. It has been one of my absolute favorite places to visit. And I absolutely would move there in a heartbeat if I could figure out a way to do it. If I had a, you know, if my husband could get a job there, it'd be great, because, you know, I'd move in a heartbeat. I mean, not knowing any Japanese. Well, I know some, but not enough to warrant moving over there. But anyway, so the only thing I can show you is this sort of stuff. And I have like vlog footage of Japan, but yeah, I miss Japan. And that was a lot of the feels of February, because I've been watching a lot of the people that I follow sort of visiting, and I know the cherry blossoms are coming up, and my girlfriend Josie's going in April, and so she wants to meet up and sort of have like pick my brain about how, you know, everything, and I'm gonna meet up with her for coffee and sort of show her the Japan journal, and she's gonna go to the Traveller's Notebook factories and stuff, so I'm gonna send her with some cash and be like, bring me home a box of goodness. But yeah, that is pretty much my February all wrapped up. I think I've talked way too much. I have a little bit of tea left, and that's how you know that I've been talking way too long. This is also a Sojourner in the Crayola color, which I absolutely love. It's not called Crayola, it's what I call it, but anyway. So lots of messages on my phone. Anyway, that is it. That is my February wrap up. If you would like these videos to continue once a month and are happy to sit with me and chat and listen, I don't know what I'll have in store for next month, but there'll be something or other. I'll work it out. I'll show you what I've been working on, what I've loved. If there's something you'd like me to include that I haven't talked about today for next month, leave it down below. But if you want them to continue, I'll happily do so. I'm happy to sit and chat about fun things like the books I've read, because I don't really chat about those things. I'm not going to make a booktube channel because I'm terrible at analyzing books and telling the themes of things. I'll leave my Goodreads link down below if you want to follow me. But yeah, I am enjoying a whole heap of stuff this month, and I wanted to sort of share it with you and have a sit down and chat instead of taking blog photos. So if you'd like this to happen once a month, let me know and I'll make it happen. I hope you have a fantastic March, my Inkies, and I'll see you again soon. Bye!
Good morning, Inkies. We are about to leave our Airbnb and head to the Disney hotel, and I didn't actually do a room tour or a little like apartment tour when we got here because we were so tired. So now that our stuff is all clean, I will show you. When you come in, their door is here. You come into this little entryway here, and of course in Japanese culture you take your shoes off. So our shoes are here, and obviously I'm in bare feet. Our suitcases, or some of our suitcases, are here, and the light is automatic, as you can see. So you come down here. These cupboards are actually the person that owns it, so we do not open those. In this one here is just linen, but in here we have the washing machine. Now, we did actually use the washing machine. It is also a washer and dryer, so we washed some of our clothes, which was really handy. All instructions are in the booklet as well. In this door here, it is the toilet, and so everything is labeled with some English. So the toilet has a lot of functions. I have replaced their toilet paper with Rilakkuma ones because we didn't realize there was spare toilet paper in the cupboard above, so we went out and bought, I went out and bought the most kawaii one you can possibly find, so they'll get a nice surprise or not. To the right hand side is the bathroom, and in here you have the basin, and there I am. Hello. Medicine cabinet if you want to use it. Now this is the shower room. So there are lots of buttons here, and there are instructions on how to use it. You turn the light on. So there is the shower and bath, and over there in the corner is actually the hot water that you turn on and off to save energy and all that sort of stuff. And when you're done in here, you set the room to dry. So you dry the room with this button here. This is ventilation, and that